ready to roll?
I'm ready to rock and roll.
We are rolling in.
All right.
I'm glad you're ready. Well, welcome back.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is the first day we've done it in the morning in a while.
I love this.
I do too.
Yeah, I got our second cup of coffee going, got the timer rolling. We may just give them a little bit more today since we were off. So we heard from no one that you were disappointed last Monday when you woke up at 5:30 for the old long haul marriage roadcast. Yeah, it's like when I saw the analytics on the video podcast that no one was watching it. They were just listening, which is fine. I thought, okay, well, why am I, editing a video podcast?
Yeah.
But there's going to be some special ones coming up. I think I previewed that where we will be doing some video podcasts in the near future with some of our younger 20-somethings. Yeah. And a couple of interviews we've got going. Want you guys to be able to watch that?
Say a little comment here.
Yes.
That I don't say this enough, but I really, really appreciate all that you do to make this podcast happen.
Wow. Thank you.
This is
I really appreciate
that. It's a whole thing. If y'all could see what all he has to do to, and now you act like it's like not even a big deal. You're just so used to doing it. But it was a big deal getting it going, and I've heard
a very big deal.
The sound is so good, and
the audio is really good. Thank you to all of our technical friends like. This microphone.
I was going to say,
the Mac.
What friends are you thanking for?
GarageBand. Yeah, I'm just using an old GarageBand.
Yeah, it's great.
But yeah, it's good.
Good job, babe.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And the reason why we were off is we were on a family vacation trip to Santa Fe, New Mexico with all of our kids, all of our grandkids. And and we celebrated Mother's Day and Jamie's birthday on May 11th. So for everyone out there, happy belated birthday to Jamie. And man, happy Mother's Day to all you mothers. It was a great way to celebrate. It took a little extra on the front end, knowing that those two were coming right on the same day and getting them packed. And I won't mention one of our services that, people shop online, but it starts with an A and rhymes with Lamazon. They got 3 of our packages here the day after the day we left. Anyway,
that's okay because then my
birthday for a little
surprise. Just stretched for a whole week, and that's
made for a little surprise on the way back. But luckily, had one of each before. One for a birthday, one for Mother's Day while we were there. So,
well, it was just the best way. I kept telling the kids and you over and over. I cannot think of a better way that I'd want to celebrate my birthday and Mother's Day. And if you are a woman out there that has kids or grandkids, I think you know what I mean. There's nothing like being with family. So although I love the presents, thank y'all so much. I really thought this is my gift right here. All my kids around me in this beautiful place. It was just amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Loved it.
There is nothing like family and celebrating with family, just being with family. And it's funny, the older we get, obviously you and I were the old ones on the trip. A lot of times we had big family vacations and we weren't the oldest on the trip. We had some matriarch and patriarchs or older, siblings or what have you.
Now we're it.
We're Mimi and Papa and just the perspective we have, before it was all about what we could get out and see or do. And it's not that we've got this, been there, done that. There's still a lot to explore and things we love to do. But if I, and obviously Santa Fe, New Mexico, this time of year, there were, no slopes to ski. But it's just not about getting out and going skiing or going hiking or going trout fishing for me. Man, if I have Ruru, Max, Georgia, or Charlotte May in my arms, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Sitting out there on the porch watching sun up or sunset, mostly sunsets on this trip.
Yeah.
But it was gorgeous, and it's just so good. I saw a TikTok with Gary Sinise, and he was talking about the loss of their son and how it changed everything in their world. and I think it's son. Good night.
Yeah, it was his son.
I was about to say, was it a daughter? Because there was another story I just saw. But, and I just appreciated how he articulated, it just changes your values and your priorities. And yeah, he was talking about how he hugs his other two daughters very, very tightly, like he did already. But just the value that places on your family. And I just made the comment, it's everything. It's our world.
And what did he say at the beginning? Like it can...
Yeah, it can make you or break you, kind of make you closer, or it can break you. And we chose to let it just shape what we think is important and what we do and how we love, and things that you don't take for granted, things you just appreciate and value. And that's really what it is for us. I mentioned that with our little Corbin. If family wasn't already a priority, it sure does make it one. So
I was telling somebody the other day that. After losing Corbin, and then, other things that we could, that we've grieved over, that we could choose. Like I just felt myself thinking, I don't want to die some bitter old lady. And I could, you could just get really bitter and angry and feel like, man, I just am living this ripped off life. Like so many things have been ripped away from me. So you can have that perspective, or you can say, I don't want to die that way. I'm not going to die some bitter old sad lady. So what are some things that I can do that will help me move through this grief and move through life to get to health and happiness and fulfillment and this rich, deep view and perspective of life. Yeah. So I feel like that's always kind of our lifelong quest, is how to do that.
Well, and I watched you make that choice, and I watched you pursue that. And just one point to make there is, it's not a one-time thing. It's like when people ask me, when were you saved? I'm like, which time? It's a choice that you make all the time to I'm going to choose that. It's not just like, oh, I had a fork in the road moment. That's the way I used to view it. It's like, wow, am I going to end up a medicated, depressed, anxious, or am I going to choose? But it's like, man, I choose that all the time. You have to keep choosing it. Today, I woke up after having some weird dreams during the night. And I just said, man, I've got to do a reset. And just taking that time to do that cold plunge and do some grounding and really hitting my affirmations hard. I had to really, thank God for neuroplasticity, right? I had to retrain my thoughts this morning, went through those affirmations. But it's funny, you said, hey, let's get up. Let's get up on the other side of the bed. I think that's why. And I said, well, which side is that? And you said, my side. Of course, it's your side. But what a great, that's going in the book. It's going to be another chapter. Waking up on Jamie's side of the bed.
What book would you be talking about, Mr. Hackney?
There's always just that little book.
He's got something up his sleeve, is all I have to say.
Yes, I do.
That's very exciting.
Yep. Shared that with the kiddos in Santa Fe. That was a great, great night, man.
Yeah, I loved sitting out on that big deck and watching the sunset and then watching the sun go down. And that night, when we spent a lot of time out there, but that one night in particular where we just all began to open up and be vulnerable and, shared tears and some laughter. It was really just a sweet, sweet time together with our grown kids,
I think about literally how many people would pay, thousands of dollars for multiple therapy sessions over months or years for what we accomplished that night around the patio, just because being in a safe place with people that you trust and that love you and have your back, so you're open to be vulnerable. That's what it that's what it's about, is just you've got that truth inside. It's just a matter of will you open up and share it, Yeah, and the feeling of safety and and love. What I loved is that, I mean, that night was very special, but what was cool too is around the dinner table where we actually sat around a dining room table for the first time in a while with all of us. You know, you've got chairs and would-be makeshift high chairs, you know, scooted up all around every nook and cranny of the table. And when we got emotional over certain topics that came up, and in a good way, you know, just watching the kids, the grandkids' reaction, watching Rue see Papa, you know, tear up, and just seeing what that evokes in them. And then even how she treated me later, it's like she came up and gave me this. It's like, you need a hug, you know, Papa. And it's like, sweet. Yeah, but she knew. It's like, okay, but these are good tears. These are happy tears. You know, that was real sweet.
Yeah, I loved it. And
of course, Max, no.
It was a great time to kind of organically plan our parenting workshop.
The parenting workshop that is now scheduled for May 29th. On a Thursday. And tell everyone why you picked Thursday and why you picked the time that we're going to start.
I know both of them seem interesting, don't they? But as I thought about
it was very intentional.
The rhythm of the week, Thursday, I've always called Friday Junior. So it's kind of exciting. It's kind of fun because you're almost to Friday, but you're not full on into the weekend yet. Right. So it seems like a night that maybe a lot might not be going on. Like Monday and Tuesday, you're just kind of getting into the week. Wednesday, there's a lot of activities going on. Thursday, we're just like excited because we're so close to the weekend. Yeah. And usually it's kind of a good night before Friday to do something.
Yeah, and even though there's youth sports all the time, but when you're out of football season, because that's usually when JV, freshman JV play.
So Thursday night just seemed like a good night to do it. And 8:00 seems a little bit late, but I'm trying to think of anyone. This is going to be an online workshop for anyone in any season. So if you are pregnant with your first baby, or you have a 2-year-old and 2 4-year-old twins, or you have 16-year-old and or you're an empty nester, it's for you. So I tried to think of the ones that would be limited a little bit. So with kids, you don't need kids running around while you're trying to do a parenting workshop. So most children are in bed by 8:00. And so I thought, if we could do 8:00, that would be perfect. So Thursday night, May 29th, 8 p.m. for an hour and a half. The link will go live today for registration.
Yeah, and when you go to our website or the link that Jamie will share on all of our social media platforms, you click on that link and there's one box on our Calendly schedule. It'll be May 29th. It's a little circle. You just click on that and you can register.
And can you add the link to the notes for today?
Sure. Okay. I'll do that. I will put the link in the notes. But this won't come out until Monday, but that's fine still. That's great. That'll be plenty of time because they won't be hearing us talking about it until then. Yeah. But yeah, so I think about the couple that came to our Love and Lattes, and they asked about once we promoted this a little bit, and they said, hey, yeah, it's just we want to do relationships with our adult children better, and I think about even adult children. Right? I mean, we're all children of somebody, and depending on if your parents are still alive, a lot of times, and especially I'm thinking of these young kids who just they want to hear and maybe listen and find themselves vicariously living through what Chandler, Christian, and Carson are living, and just the relationships that we've forged right through the fires of their early years and the teen years and then their young adult years, and just kind of living and listening and finding out what they're thinking. And some of the things, hearing from them. So they're going to be on it. Chandler, Christian, and Carson will be on the workshop, and we're going to start off with some teaching,
so much
and
fun.
and introducing them, and just talking about concepts. I say teaching, just going to be a conversation and a discussion, but then hearing from them, what it was like to be raised in a home, and let me just say this, a very, very normal home. And what is normal? What does that mean? But I mean, I think it was indicative or representative of so many families where we had a lot of love, we had loss, we had the good, but we also had, as we always say, the bad and the ugly. I mean, they watched mom and dad, especially in those early years, go through grief. They watched that anger stuff in me before it had gotten even one bit healed. They watched mom and dad and their differences flare up, and we'll talk. I said, I want you guys to talk about that, how it felt, some of those intense moments where dad's about to ruin a trip when we're at Disney World, I remember we were pulling up to the Holy Lands and we had just gotten into some stupid fight about directions. And I say Holy Lands, the exhibit in Orlando, Florida, the Holy Lands. Hey, y'all went to Israel? No,
Wow,
we were at Disney World. We did actually go to the Holy Lands, but that's another trip, another podcast.
Not with the kids. That would have been awesome. But it was funny to hear the kids just joking in Santa Fe when we were doing, kind of planning the workshop, and them joking with you going, okay, Dad, all right, you want it? Okay, it's all coming out. And you're like, bring it.
They're going to roast me.
They will, and I love it.
I do too. Man, what a great time, especially with the boys. I say that because they roast me harder than Chandler does. It's gonna be great. So you guys look forward to that. And at the end, when we're going to turn it over to them, let them, give their perspective. But then a large portion of this, we're going to have some Q&A, and it's ask us anything and ask them anything, and nothing is off the table. So that's going to be, I think our hour and a half is going to fly by.
Oh my goodness, it is.
But we're trying this Zoom format. You can just, show up in your PJs, and whether you just worked out, just had dinner, shower, no shower, you just got to have a shirt on. I
think I'm going to shower.
Yep. You're going to shower.
I'm going to shower and I'll be all ready.
Okay, cool.
I also liked how in the registration link, you put, you go ahead and ask a question. Like when you register, if you have a question that you can think of that you want to submit before the event, we will cover it that night.
Good call. Yeah, good call.
Love it. Really looking forward to that online parenting workshop. Long haul parenting, parenting for the long haul.
Parenting for the long haul.
There we go. Ding, 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 ding.
So on this vacation, we were talking about getting ready, and it's funny to watch the kids now grown, and some of them obviously with kids, our grandkids, some not yet, but watching them get ready for the trips and seeing some of the things that going on the trip, the road trip, having three littles in one minivan, and then Christian Emily rode with us with Shar. And then Carson and Sarah, but just seeing those kids and what they have to deal with, and us getting a little bit of it's like yep, been there, and thank God we're not the ones doing it anymore, but just how, again, a lot of times when we were doing those trips, I had no idea that what I was feeling before the trip was anxiety. You just thought, man, Dad's in a bad mood, or Dad's grumpy, or man, look at Dad. He's got to get us, packed up. I was bragging about my Tetris job in the Suburban that we rented, but and in the back. But it wasn't about being angry or being in a hurry. You always said, why do we have to make good time? It was all about making good time. It's like when we can just enjoy the journey. But for me, it was anxiety. Things were supposed to go perfectly. They just, for whatever reason, that was this thing instilled in my brain that, man, things are supposed to go well. They're supposed to go, according to clockwork. And it's just that's so ridiculous. Like nothing will go according to plan. Nothing will go according to clockwork. And when you have little kids and toddlers, and infants and stuff, there's, absolutely no way that your quote schedule or your agenda is going to be nailed ever. And so it's cool to now be able to back off of that and to not have that because we've figured out where a lot of that was coming from. But also I love the fact that we get to do these together and they get to see Mom and Dad, Mimi and Papa, and I think we can help them just breathe a little bit, and because I don't want them to imitate that part of us. I don't want them to take on that stress and that anxiety. And for the most part, I think they're doing really, really well.
Yeah, and I think before the trip, we kept saying we don't care if we stop a million times on the way. And I loved hearing Ryan describe, like, I just want to leave, I want us to leave as early as possible. The kids are already up, so let's go ahead and get on the road because I just want to have an enjoyable trip. If we need to stop 7 times on the way, and let the kids stop and eat at Chick-fil-A and let them play on the play place or whatever, just enjoy the time getting there. And I think we've talked about that so much. You've shared about what you used to feel as a young dad, like, come on, kids, let's get on the road. And plus there is a lot to think about, how, things to do around the house that need to be done. And then is the car all ready.
With me, and it was like a competition. And you say, with who? Well, if I look and you can, and now obviously our freaking Apple Maps or whatever will tell you exactly, okay, this is 8 hours and 34 minutes to get to your destination. Well, if it's possible to do 8:34, then we're going to do 8:34 or maybe 8:33, right? And that's just so ridiculous. But yeah. So speaking of vacations, we got along really, really well. The entire family. I was saying it's so cool to have siblings that love each other. There's no drama. It's just fun and we're laughing. Yeah. But so it hasn't always been that way, right? And with them, they go through their stages, but I mean with us, with you and I. And of course the kids would feel the tension if we're going sideways. And we've again, I think for me, you get to a certain age, man, I'm pushing the big 6-0.
Yes, you
this year. And you just think, I may not have many years left and don't want to get all, morbid or whatever about that. But, I want to make this stuff count. I want to finish well. And it's like, come on, man. And that's kind of where we are. We're in that space, but we weren't always. And I tried to ruin almost every vacation we've ever been on. And even if I didn't try to do that, and I say that tongue in cheek, but our differences were going to, flare up. And then it's a matter of, are we going to make a big deal about them? Are we going to fight about them? And then the kind of tension that we will create with the kids and how that sets the tone for everything.
It does.
What's one of the worst memories? I want to hear for a lot of the couples out there, they're going, great, all this great stuff and this legacy stuff and getting along and having fun. How about some of the train wrecks?
Vacation.
Yeah, vacations.
One just popped into mind.
Okay, go.
We drove to Florida to somewhere on 30A. We got in super late at night, so everybody was just tired, and you'd been driving all day, and I don't remember what all happened, but you were just not in a good mood. You just were not in a good mood. And the kids were all sleeping, and we were going to have to unload the van and get into our little condo or whatever. And you went to open up the back, and all the luggage had shifted and all fell out. And I just remember going, oh, whoopsie.
I don't remember that at all.
Well, you
no.
probably blacked out after that. But
Okay. So what happened though as a result of all the luggage? It was just a tense moment for you.
It was just a tense moment. I just remember it going, oh gosh, could anything worse happen? Then I think we couldn't get the door open to the condo. It was super dark, and they didn't leave like a,
yeah, and I'm probably having to pee, and so then I got to go around the side and make sure the cameras aren't. Yeah. I don't
just remember
that.
we couldn't get in. We couldn't get in. The keypad thing wasn't working, and anyway, just a little bit tense. But then you know what? We woke up the next morning, slept well, and had a great trip after that. But I just remember it was we had a little reset.
What's some other? I was telling a young couple the other day. They were talking about how sometimes the emotions around they watch their parents. This is a very young couple. But they watch their parents get in fights over one or the other feeling slighted around anniversary or birthday celebrations, and that, which is sad, right? An anniversary that's skipped or missed or forgotten or just not celebrated because there's nothing to celebrate. But I thought about how many times on big deals like anniversary in our early years on anniversary dates or Valentine dates or maybe birthday dates, some like special where we are turning the car around. We get in a screaming match and I'm turning the car around, and I mean, I never said get out and walk. I think you would have done that with me. But how literally, and you're driving back home and you're both, I'm mad, you're crying, and the more you're crying, the madder I'm getting. And just how we ruined so many of those nights. And you think, well, why did it just happen to be on those nights? I think there was something, there is something there. Some
unrealistic expectations, or, you see TV or commercials and everything's just perfect. And when it's not, because it's not going to be just perfect, I don't know if that just, made everything blow up because it was supposed to be this special anniversary or this special Valentine's Day, and one little thing happened wrong, and so the whole thing just goes to hell in a handbasket. Right. Yeah. Instead of saying, no, like just because that went wrong doesn't mean the whole night is ruined.
Well, and you talk about unrealistic expectations. Sometimes it's not just maybe they are realistic, but they're you haven't communicated them. They're different. What you expect, your expectations were different than mine. But I think beyond that, I never really think it was about the date or the night. I think, again, for us, what we've seen is there are these unhealed wounds that are still popping up and getting, quote, triggered in those moments. And then has nothing to do with the date, but here they come. And so, so many times it is those, man, I'm frustrated because the woman thought he should have got her, a present, or he should have made reservations, or he should have thought about it, or she should have, known that I was tired and we needed to leave an hour later than we did, or whatever. But many times it's the stuff that that comes up during those nights. It's because you're recognizing there's a deeper wound there, and you don't know how to articulate it, and so it makes the whole thing go south. And that's we've lived through that. We've lived through a bunch of those. Yeah,
and I'm grateful to have lived through that, and I feel like we are, although not perfect, I feel like we're on the other side of that, like that curve, that bell curve or whatever that we've looked at before. You go through the thick of it and it gets really hard, and you're just both going sideways and fighting, and you just think, we don't even see eye to eye. Like, what? This is craziness. You're in the thick of raising kids or whatever, no matter if they're little or high school or college or whatever. And I think so many people, that's when they can be tempted to throw in the towel and say, because I said it, I can't live like this. I cannot keep doing this. But it's not okay, so then we just need to divorce.
Right.
There's a different choice. There's a different way.
Yeah.
And I'm just grateful that we stuck it out to figure out that it didn't have to always be that way.
Yeah.
But that didn't mean, okay, so that means we have to divorce. That means that we can both humble ourselves, get some help, figure out how to communicate, figure out what are those wounds that have just the lies that we've believed because of the wounds that are so deep. Let's get healed, each of us individually, and then bring a healthier person to this marriage and watch what happens.
There it is. I mean, that's it. That's the thing. And so when you're dealing with the thing, whether it's the holidays bring it out or a vacation brings it out, those times where you're out of your routine, there's less distractions. You can be distracted through the whole deal. But when you let yourself kind of get out of your routine, feel something, and all this stuff starts blowing up, it's not about the vacation. It's not about the holidays. And yes, I get that can be some family of origin, childhood stuff there, but it's about those unhealed wounds. And that is the stuff we bring into the relationship and the marriage. And you're right. Yeah, I do. Wow. I feel like we recognize it if the differences are annoying or we are tired and, so you've got the recipe for a blow up. If we do, there's a quick repair. So we've talked about repair attempts and allowing those to land and wanting, it's like, hey, let's don't waste time. Let's don't waste 2 hours. Let's for sure don't waste 2 days or the trip. Yeah. Let's don't stop the car and turn around. Let's fix this before.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we are on the other side of that.
Yeah.
But as I say that, I just want people to know it's that daily choice to resurrect. Like, let's kill that old person that that literally wants to still be alive. Let's kill that so we can have a resurrection and have a really, really good relationship.
I love it.
Yep.
Well, I can't wait to share some of this with the kids at the parenting workshop. Y'all be watching for the link. Yeah.
And let's see, what else?
I have a shout out.
Okay.
I have a hey.
Because I felt like we were going to do a little some other promo or a shout out. So go ahead.
Okay.
Do your
well,
hey.
This is just a hey to Sarah Parker.
Oh, here we go.
Happy birthday to you. Okay.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Sarah. Happy birthday to you. So although it's today, on Saturday when we're doing this, it'll be a couple of days past her birthday. But man, we love Sarah.
If you were to draw up and design the perfect girl for Carson.
Sweet girl. We love you, Sarah.
She is pure as the driven snow. She's sweet. She's smart. She's funny. She's, yeah.
Just
what a great girl.
So kind. So just sweet with the kids.
And there's a lot there. A lot upstairs,
And you keep telling her, if anything ever happened to you and Carson, we'll keep you and Carson will go.
He's optional.
Just kidding. We love you, Carson.
Happy birthday, Sarah. We love you.
And she actually listens to the podcast. So,
she does?
Woohoo.
Okay.
She sure does.
I'm kidding. I know you do. So, yeah, babe. May 29th, Thursday night, you can log on. The Zoom link will automatically be sent to you when you register for the event. And we look forward to as many people as we can fit in our little Zoom room.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's no limit. Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Looking forward to that.
And I would say, too, if for some reason you both, Mom and Dad, aren't available on that night, even if one of you just wants to hop on and glean some wisdom, hopefully both of you could be there, but don't just think, well, we both can't do it, so we're just not going to be a part of it.
Yeah.
I think just anybody that can hop on. I think even if you're not a parent yet, I would want to do something like this to learn to be a step ahead before I even became a parent.
The novelty, if you will, of this for us and for long haul marriage is, you've been hearing from us a lot, but you're going to hear from the kids.
Yeah.
And these really, really sharp, adult kids now, who can, they've got the perspective of being parents. So there's going to be a little more insight that is informing their perspectives. And so they'll have their perspective as a kid, but also perspective as a parent. And we feel like we've gotten a lot of grace extended to us because of that informed perspective that they now have, which is always cool. It was like, as we started having kids, I kept thinking, oh my gosh, I need to apologize to my parents.
I have thought about that a lot too.
Yeah.
Just so thankful. You don't know what you don't know.
That's right.
I tried to tell my parents how thankful I was for them so many times, but who knows? You probably could tell them, you could probably show them more, but I think there's also just a knowing. They know.
Yeah. I don't know when I started saying this, but I don't think that we raise our kids. I think they raise us.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, baby. Well, listen, this is
All
great.
right.
And have a good rest of your Saturday. I'm going to take off and run a little errands.
Okay.
And I'll be seeing you after a while.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay, baby.
Okay. Love you.